All right, so I got a little bit of a follow up for you guys today in regards to the SHE Beverage situation. Last we left off, I left an audio clip in regards to URBT Punch TV, which is owned by Joseph Collins, stating that they were aware of the fraud and what they were doing and what was going on with SHE Beverage. So at that time, it was under investigation by the FBI. As we know that Punch TV, which is owned by Joseph Collins, supposedly purchased the assets from SHE Beverage. Now, there is no written documentation for that legally, publicly. There's no official transaction that anything was ever sold off. In fact, if you have SHE Beverage shares, then it was still with them. However, it's not worth anything. Shortly after that, and this goes back to about maybe March, somewhere between March to summer, maybe July. The FBI has been looking for investors, and so here's an updated article by Matt Weiss. Sports FBI. FBI goes after football's Lupe Rose as alleged scam unravels. Now, it's not an alleged scam; it was a scam. The SEC was successful in their lawsuit. The ladies, they didn't try to represent themselves, so the SEC won by default. So now the FBI is has them under investigation, and they're looking for over 2,000 investors of people who would have donated within the sum of millions and millions of dollars, over $15 million or so. So here we have Lupe Rose, and she's not the only one that's under investigation for federal charges by the FBI. It will be Lupe Rose, Kat Durden, and also Sonja Shelby. To the right, I believe this is Brandon Shelby. He was over the football team. I think if you guys go back and watch some of my previous SHE Beverage videos, some of the ladies actually commented who was in this football league. And so Lupe Rose had 85 trademarks that all fell through, which is extreme for anybody. And so the football league fell through. Brandon was supposed to be the commissioner, president, something of that nature. In this photo, we have Women's Football League Association website homepage. WFLA owner Lupe Rose and Commissioner Brandon Shelby are interviewed in October 2019. Action News during a league trial at Las Vegas Sports Park in Las Vegas. Rose and two other SHE Beverage board members pleaded no contest on a lawsuit initiated by the Securities and Exchange Commission for defrauding investors out of $15 million. The FBI is investigating SHE Beverage, Rose, and two other board members. WFLA. I'm not even sure why he wasn't included. That's a story for another day. But I think they're looking at him as well, the FBI. Adult Tackle Football League used to be big attractions in Guam. I'm just going to kind of paraphrase some of this. So even some of the ladies who commented on my previous video, a lot of people, some of the ladies who I guess they were playing in some type of professional league in Guam left to pursue her football league. So they would have lost out whatever opportunities they had there in Guam. They got stuck out here. And then, of course, COVID happened. And then I believe in 2021 or 2022, they were then still misled that they were going to start a league. In fact, they had that website up that they were going to start something underway. Nothing ever happened. It says here on any given weekend, gridiron greets from the men's Guhan Varsity Football League and the Butt Like Guam's Women's Tackle Football League strapped on their pads and laced up their cleats as they pounded and passed their way to the end zone at Eagles Field. Then it says down here, this past year, football matriarch Linda Salas founded an adult flag football league in Guam, which struggled to field four teams, but his more painful counterpart has not seen the light of day. A few years ago, when women's tackle football was in its heyday, several of the league's most accomplished players were recruited and signed letters of intent to play professional football in the women's league. It says down here, many of the elite players left Guam for the United States to join, but never played a single down nor received payment for playing professional football. For more than a year, Rose posted an announcement on the league's Facebook page and Instagram account that the WFLA was gearing up for the season to kick off, and even wrote that the league issued a first $1 million contract to Santia Deck. Rose also posted workouts of the LA Flames, one of the teams in the league that Rose allegedly owned. A source familiar to and known of the women's football players, but who requested anonymity, said that as 8 of the athletes from Guam took jobs at Amazon and lived together in a single-family home waiting for the season to begin, which never did, which that really sucks. The SHE Beverage and WFLA websites are no longer on the website or on the internet. I really haven't followed up with that too much. And I have no idea who this Santia Deck is. Let's take a look and find. All right, so this is Santia Deck. At least I believe that's who it is. Supposedly, she got $1 million contract from Lupe Rose. I guess you guys would have to reach out to her and ask if that really happened, or you know, I'm sure the internet sleuths would be wondering whatever that's going on. But I don't know if she got $1 million or not. I mean, we all know Lupe Rose is a big liar. So anyway, let's go further. Down here it says sued for fraud. Obviously, you guys have been kind of caught up on that. In September 2021, the SEC Commission sued Rose and SHE Beverage Chief Financial Officer Sonja Shelby and Chief Operations Officer Katherine Dirden for allegedly defrauding investors out of $50 million. Now, again, this is not allegedly. It is a proven fact. They pled no contest. That's been a done deal since December, January, or February of this year. And just as another update, Joseph Collins, really quick, I want to show you guys who this guy is. This is Joseph Collins, the man who supposedly purchased the SHE Beverage assets, which were never really purchased. That is the person who bought the shares, supposedly, again, from Lupe Rose and SHE Beverage. Somebody complained about one of my videos of a few months ago. Obviously, that didn't hold any water. I sent my information over to YouTube. It was probably him because his face and everything was up on the thumbnail. But YouTube was like, heck no, they're not taking their video down, especially when I sent them all the transcripts of the FBI and the SEC. So they were all copied on that, and so YouTube pretty much backed off. But I guess somebody, more than likely him, didn't like his company being outed for the shysters that they are. All right, so yeah, they were sued for fraud. It was never on NASDAQ for their public offering. Allegedly, the co-defendants told investors that the IPO was imminent. Investors jumped at the chance to be a part of SHE Beverage movement, which catered to its niche drinks to women globally. But instead of more than 2,000 investors' dollars pumping directly into SHE Beverage, the SEC alleged that Rose, Shelby, and Dirden used that money to furnish lavish lifestyles, which included trips to Vegas, etc., etc. You guys can read the rest of that. Of the 2,000 allegedly defrauded investors, the SEC complaint lists Guam as a location where at least one of the alleged fraud victims hails from. In 2023, a judgment was filed against Rose and her two co-defendants, United States District Court, Central District of California, Western Division. Court documents ordered and stated that defendants shall pay disgorgements for ill-gotten gains. So I'm wondering which case was this referring to, because they had like 4 or 5 different lawsuits against them. Let me see. March 2003 filed against Rose and their two companies. I have to find out which court case that is. And this is, it says, apart from SEC versus SHE Beverage civil case, the FBI, which is what we're catching up to now, has opened an investigation against Rose, Shelby, and Dirden and is actively searching for victims to come forward who were defrauded in the alleged scam. The FBI on its website stated, if you believe you were a victim in this investigation, please fill out this short form. I think I left that on the previous video. You guys could just go to the FBI website, fill out the paperwork there, and they'll be taking care of you. The FBI is investigating SHE Beverage and its principals, Lupe Rose, Sonja Shelby, Katherine Dirden, for falsely representing to investors how investor funds would be utilized, while millions of dollars were potentially misappropriated via the purchase of luxury retail goods, casino trips, and cash withdrawals. We've caught up on this. You guys can watch some of the videos. Victims may be eligible for certain services, restitution, and rights under federal and or state law. Your responses are voluntary, but may be useful in the federal investigation and to identify you as a potential victim. Based on the responses provided, you may be contacted by the FBI and asked to provide additional information. All identities of victims will be kept confidential. The FBI wants to know how much money was invested because they really don't know how the investment was provided. If cash payment was requested within when the investment occurred, how the investor found out about it, how the loss of investment has affected personal lives, and if the investor transferred shares of SHE Beverage stock to URBT. Urban TV, URBT, is a company that allegedly took control of SHE Beverage assets. So I don't think there's much information about this on the internet other than my videos. So URBT legally, to the best of my knowledge, never bought SHE Beverage shares. You guys were making a donation to URBT, and that's why they were probably upset at that voice recording or that audio recall, because that's where they admitted that they were not buying shares from SHE Beverage, is that you were really investing in their company to recoup your funds. So imagine if Best Buy goes out of business, you had stocks in Best Buy, but then Target comes around and says, oh, we'll recoup your funds, and you're investing in Target, but Target really never took over funds or stocks from Best Buy. You're simply investing in another ploy, in this particular case, to recoup your funds. That's essentially what's happening here. So URBT never bought shares from SHE Beverage, and that was admitted directly by the company. So I don't know why the FBI doesn't know that. I don't know why this person in this article, but it pays to do your homework. URBT is owned by parent company Punch Studios Television Incorporated, a one-person operation, and is urging those who invested in SHE Beverage to pay a $115 transfer fee. Again, it's not a transfer because SHE Beverage went out of business or whatever the case might be. They're asking you to do an investment. And that's where a lot of you who have subscribed to the channel and watched some of the previous videos were defrauded. This line right here, I'll highlight it. It was never a transfer fee, which they publicly admitted. They publicly admitted it, that it was never a transfer. But they sent out emails, which is electronic wire transfer fraud, and sent out mailers and text messages and phone calls and left voicemails stating that it was a transfer. But it was never a transfer. It was an investment into a brand new company, just like that Target Best Buy situation that I gave you. The second also filed a civil suit for fraud against Punch TV Studios and its sole proprietary, Joseph Collins. So before we get to Joseph Collins, this guy is a real shyster. And I'm going to show you a video really quickly. This is who he is, obviously. And this is a video of him a couple months ago, and he's running for president of the United States.
Our immigration system is completely broken. As you see, Washington is letting millions of unvetted, uneducated, unprepared, unvaccinated people into our country who are not contributing to our economy. But yet they're costing taxpayers millions of dollars as we give away free food and free housing and free education.
So that's pretty much who Joseph Collins is. He forfeited his case, or I think pled no contest or something. I know it has been a while since I've posted any videos in regards to SHE Beverage because, kind of pretty much end with the situation, but definitely wanted to make, some updates for people who are not familiar with the situation, who really haven't been following it, and just kind of create a source where you guys can reference some of this information. And I know there's not a lot of people talking about it too much. The SEC also filed a civil suit against Punch TV Studios and its proprietary Joseph Collins. Collins in December 22nd, 2022, news release says that his company purchased SHE Beverage assets for $54 million. However, there is no record. It's just an accusation. They could have just said, oh yeah, we'll sell the company for $54 million. SHE Beverage was never even worth $54 million. There's no record of anything. That's the problem. There's no record. This is just a claim. It's just like right now, if I tell you I'll sell you my ballpoint pen for $100 million, you and I shake on it. There's no documentation that shows any value, any appraisals, any worth. It's just a claim. I could go buy your 1974 Pinto for $2 and say, hey, we shook on it. I sold it to you for $54 million. That kind of situation. All right. A WFLA Instagram post from April 2022 stated Collins' purchase of SHE Beverage assets included ownership of the WFLA. The post also stated that he replaced Rose as the WFLA CEO. So if that is true, then man, he's just really digging a hole for himself. He's really digging a hole for himself in that now he's claiming liability for all of the ladies that came over from Guam and some of the ladies from the Football League. And I'm not aware of any of the promises that were ever stated or agreed to from SHE Beverage or whatever. But if there was, let's say, potential contracts, then basically he's bearing the burden of responsibility for picking up those liabilities. So again, if you were one of those ladies who were in this football league, if you had any promises, any contracts or anything that was told to you, please leave a comment below, because I'm really curious to know what the agreements were for some of you ladies in that women's football league. And so, yeah, this is a really odd situation. But at any rate, I wanted to make this video just to kind of update you guys. But again, the FBI is looking into this. I know many people said, oh, they were wondering, like, oh, is the FBI going to do anything? Is anybody going to take this, serious, this situation for this as far as theft or fraud? But yeah, this is fraud. This is rank fraud. The FBI is looking into it. Originally people just thought it was just the SEC going after them, the SEC. But no, FBI is involved. Hopefully they start making some arrests pretty soon, because they're definitely guilty. And yeah, these ladies here, and I hope Ja Rule is under investigation for this as well, because he was a part of this. He's been on the talk shows. He was an investor, so we're not going to forget you, Mr. Ja Rule. You were involved in this too. It says here, Ja Rule, Guam and football. In this October 2019 photo garnered from Facebook, women's football players from Guam and stakeholders gather with Ja Rule, American rapper, at a Women's Football League Association combine at Las Vegas Sports. WFLA owner Lupe Rose and 2 other board members were sued in California by U.S. Yeah, we got that. The WFLA lists Ja Rule as the owner of the New York Stars. The team in the WFLA, Rose and 2 other SHE Beverage board members, are under investigation by the FBI. So I don't see Lupe Rose in this photo. And that's what a lot of these entities would do. This, people, they will partner up with well-known celebrities, people who have a face, to try to create some additional stability for their scam, their fraud. Like, hey, I got Michael Jackson or I got Prince to co-sign on this, and having, in this case, Ja Rule, because they're famous faces. And so you think if they're partnered up with these entities and these individuals, it gives it a little bit more credibility. And so you get sucker punched into believing, thinking it's true. Like, look at these ladies. They're like, oh, Ja Rule bought the team, blah, blah, blah. We're, like, this is authentic. This is real. We're going to make something happen. And, then they try to turn it off, sell off their assets and try to just get as much money as they can, when really it's all fluff. There's no value there. So at any rate, please like and subscribe. I will catch you guys later. Just wanted to make this update for all of you. I'm not sure how many more or if there really is much more to cover, unless they start making some arrests and recouping some money, which is what I hope they do. So with that being said, I will catch you guys later. Thank you for watching the Adventure Channel. And for those of you who are constant viewers, again, we do adventure stuff here, but this was a really important issue that I feel that needed to be discussed here on the channel, because I don't like people being caught off guard. And a lot of people who invested in SHE Beverage, are elderly people. And so, again, there's not much information on this. And just wanted to kind of create a scenario or an atmosphere, or just kind of document for you guys what's going on for those of you that follow. So at any rate, you guys have a great day. I will catch you later. Bye-bye.